Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Ananya and I recently started my YouTube channel. And my last video was about how I cleared the CFA Level 1 and just giving a few strategies that I think might have helped out. But a lot of people texted saying that it wasn't really clear as to how to get started, what to do about prep providers, everything of that sort. That is why here's a step-by-step guide, you can say, of how you can go about starting CFA Level 1. So the first subject we're talking about is ethics, and honestly, a lot of people might say ethics is the most theory paper, which is not wrong. It is theory, but it's the most application-based subject in the entire curriculum. And this is because you're exposed to the code of ethics and various standards for professional conduct and performance. That is very important when you're a charter holder because of the kind of decisions you'll be making day to day. So that is why CFA keeps a very high weightage of this. In level 1, it's almost 15 to 20%, and in level 2 and level 3, it's 10 to 15%. The second subject that you're probably going to be exposed to is quantitative methods. You want to be a Arjun from Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. This is what you're going to be studying. You have to understand various methods available to analyze various investments, to decide which is riskier than the other, to check whether the probability of a risk occurring in the next day, in the next month, in the next year is possible. All of these decisions need quants, need statistics, and all of those methods you'll be learning in this subject. Level 1 weightage for this is around 6 to 9%, level 2 weightage is 5 to 10%, level 3 does not have quants. The third subject, it's economics. Personal favorite, really enjoy the economics on CFA Level 1. It's going to be on the easier side for you if you had economics in 11th and 12th, if you were a CBSE student. I'm pretty sure even in other curriculums, the same syllabus must have been there. Basically, your demand, supply, macroeconomic forces, market structures, all of those things about the market is economics. Weightages for this are 6 to 9%, and level 2 and 3, you'll see them at 5 to 10% each. The next subject is FSA, which is financial statement analysis. I believe this should be, again, an approachable subject for people who have done commerce, whether it's in 11th and 12th accountancy, or it is mainly in like university. If you've done BCom, BBA, basically specializing something in commerce, you have that base, then your accounting base is clear a little bit, and this should be more approachable. You're basically looking at financial reporting, financial statement disclosures. If you've done IFRS, US GAAP, those are going to be seen a little bit. Basically financial analysis and a lot of like balance sheet, gross profit, income statement, you'll see all of those in this. The level 1 weightage for this is quite a bit. It is 11 to 14%. Level 2, again, very high, 12 to 13%. But again, in level 3, we don't have it. A lot of people might find FSA approachable, but the questions for FSA get tricky. So FSA is one subject that you should definitely focus a lot more practice on. The next subject you'll probably see is corporate issuers. I should stop saying probably. You're going to see all of these subjects. But yeah, you'll see corporate issuers. It deals with the corporate governance part of the company. How do they manage stakeholders? You'll see a lot of ESG here, like environmental social governance. And basically, you'll have to see how does a company, use leverage to make sure their working capital lasts for their short-term needs, or how do they allocate it for long-term needs. So again, these are terms that if you're familiar with because of accounting and everything of that sort in college, you'll definitely be exposed to it. Level 1 weightage is 6 to 9%, level 2 is 5 to 10%, and level 3 is 0%. Now the next is equity investments. This is basically, it deals with the equity instruments in the market, indexes. It talks about various valuation methods that can be used for equity instruments. A little bit on the easier side, but again, I won't say too easy because this is where quite a bit of calculations do come into play as well. So level 1 weightage is 11 to 14%, and level 2 and level 3 is 10 to 15%. Next subject is fixed income. I would honestly say this is where it gets a little not exposed. What I mean is maybe you're not exposed to this part of the curriculum, because this talks about the fixed income investments like bonds and various, risk factors of those, yield factors, characteristics of yield. It has a lot of terms, a lot of concepts that we have not been exposed to before. So definitely I would Personally, I would place it on the difficult side, in the sense of their concepts you would have to give time to. The level 1 weightage is 11 to 14%, level 2 is 10 to 15%, and level 3 is 15 to 20%. Then we are going to go to derivatives. I'm not a fan of derivatives, but the thing is, it has low weightage. It is level 1 is 5 to 8%, level 2 and level 3 is 5 to 10% each. It basically deals with the derivatives market, talks about futures, options, swaps, contingent claims, all of those. Next, we're gonna come to a very cute subject. It's alternative investments. It basically talks about, hedge fund, private equity, real estate, infrastructure, basically alternative investments that exist in the market for you to explore. And you'll talk about which ones to pick for diversification of your portfolio, which one to not, etc., etc. So it's a fun subject, cute subject, very small subject. You're gonna have fun with it. Level 1 is 7 to 10%, and level 2 and 3 is 5 to 10%. Finally, we have the last subject, which is portfolio management and wealth planning. This subject deals with everything risk, like you are how is risk management done, how do you return and risk, how do you weigh them out, what else, formulas that are involved in calculating the optimal risk that a certain investor can take, what's the difference between the investors, retail investors, institutional investors. So you'll be exposed to how is that portfolio management done, how is that portfolio created, what is the most ideal portfolio for a certain investor, why is it not ideal for another person. So this kind of wealth planning is involved in this subject. Very high weightages. Level 1 was 8 to 12%, might sound low, but wait for level 2 and level 3. Level 2 10 to 15%, level 3 35 to 40%. So establishing a base here is very important, because this is going to be 40% of your weightage in the final exam. So always make sure to have the clarity from the very beginning. So now you have a clarity about what subjects you're covering. The next part of this is to register for the CFA exam. So talking about the registration for CFA, right? So CFA level 1, when you're doing it, you'll pay a one-time enrollment registration fee in the very beginning, which would be about $350 if I'm not wrong, $350. And if you're enrolling early bird, which is honestly the best way to save money in the first place, is $990. But if you by chance miss it and you want to do the standard fee, I think standard fee is about $1,020, around that. So in total, if you're doing with early bird, adding the taxes and all, will come to about $1,100, and you did the $350 enrollment fee. So the total you can expect for paying the CFA level 1 is $1,450, which is around 1,23,000 rupees. This includes your chance to give the exam, but at the same time, it includes the CFA LES questions, which are the practice questions provided to you by CFA themselves. This is, if I'm not wrong, it's about 2,500 questions are available to you to practice, which includes all the 10 subjects divided topic wise, and 2 free mocks that you can give at the end to test your knowledge about the same. These are resettable, so anytime you feel like you want to reset this and do this again, you can do it. On the CFA LES, you can do it. Then you get the CFA textbooks. The CFA textbooks are very comprehensive, very in-depth. If you're someone who's planning to give almost a year to the CFA prep, I think you can easily use the CFA textbooks and pass, because they're very, very comprehensive. But because they are very comprehensive, people choose to pick other textbooks and other guidebooks and other references, because they're so long that they want more concise versions of it available, which is why other reference books are recommended. CFA provides learning modules, which is like flashcards are available, or like concise topic notes are available. If you're someone who has the time and who's willing to give the efforts to do it just with the CFA material, you can do it. There's no harm in it, but it's always recommended to get someone to guide you through this entire process. Okay, so whether you're doing the self-study route or the prep provider route, one thing that I'll definitely recommend is to get the Schwezer notes. The Schwezer notes are basically Schwezer textbooks. I'll put a picture here. And they're extremely concise and cover the entire portion. Personally, I cleared the CFA level 1 doing just these books. A lot of people use these books as reference, and even if you have the best prep provider, even if you are doing the most comprehensive textbook of CFA, which is the one they provide themselves, it's always recommended to get these Shweza books. They're extremely well made, very good quality. If you're someone who wants the Shweza textbooks arranged from somewhere, just message me on LinkedIn. Prep provider wise, you're confused about which one to go for? Fine. I have 5 prep providers here that I'm going to talk about. Either way, any prep provider you pick out of these 5 will help you pass. They're extremely good at their job. They have great pass rates. And I've had friends go to at least one friend go to each of them, and they've been extremely satisfied. So all of them are great. You just have to decide based on how you study. Okay, so the first prep provider on the list is Mark Meldrum. Honestly feels like one of the most trusted ones in the market. I probably can name like 8 to 9 people in my own circle who have taken Mark Meldrum and continue to choose him for level 2 and level 3. So the retention rate should probably tell you a lot about it. And a lot of people enjoy his teaching because Mark Meldrum goes very much into depth. He very good for beginners because he'll take a topic and properly tell you the root of it and then go to the higher level. He won't just dive into the deep end with you. He'll take you to the deep end. Naturally, since he's going so in depth about the topic, the videos tend to be a little long, which is it's like 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours. There's a lot of concept clarity involved, and it's to make sure it's for beginners. So if you're a beginner who's looking at it, then definitely look into it. His demo lectures, I'll link them down in the description so that you can check them out. Check them out. If that sort of learning is matching you, then you can close your eyes and go for this. So the second provider on the list is Fintree. I've heard very good reviews about Fintree's juice notes. I've also done Fintree's free YouTube review that's crash course that's available. I'll link it down below. You can check it out. You can look at the way he teaches. A lot of concept clarity, a lot of simplifying of concepts is involved, and it's an Indian professor, so there's that personal touch if you're an Indian, and it's a classroom setup. So in the middle of like teaching, he'll probably take up a doubt that a student has asked, and or he'll probably ask someone to say it. Definitely a place you can check out if you're a beginner and if you're an Indian and you want that Indian touch. The third provider I looked at was Sanjay Saraf. I can be wrong about this, but the videos that I saw and a few reviews that I read online said that he communicates in Hindi. So any student who's looking for a tutor who teaches in Hindi, I think he would be your best shot, because I heard a lot of people say that they really connected with him and properly understood what he was saying because he was communicating it in Hindi. So yeah, again, long videos, goes in depth, goes into the concept clarity as mentioned in Mark Meldrum, but for the much more specialized for the Indian audience for sure. The next prep provider on this list is honestly the most affordable one, and that's Ashwini Bajaj. A few of my friends have attended his and they've been extremely satisfied. There's Mind Map. Mind Map is something my friends really found useful. And about their videos, they said that they're pretty in-depth, which helps in retaining information and concept clarity. And in the middle, sometimes he'll even help you, feel motivated, give a little self-help talk and everything of that sort. So feels very personalized because you don't feel like it's a professional certification. He teaches you and gives examples in such a way that you feel you're studying with a professor from school or with a professor from university. So I think that if you're looking for that connect, if you're looking for a potentially cheaper and affordable one, you can go for Ashwini Bajaj's. Last but not the least is UWorld. This is what I'm currently using for CFA Level 2, and I discovered UWorld during Level 1 because I had purchased their question bank. Their question bank is extremely beneficial because although the questions are tougher than what the CFA Institute provides in the LES, every time you answer a question, UWorld provides a proper detailed explanation of why the answer is what it is. And that explanation when you're answering questions at the end, like during your review stage, will be extremely helpful. So even if the course is too expensive for you, I definitely suggest to invest in the question bank. UWorld, one reason I picked them is they have bite-sized videos. I don't think any video on their platform is more than 20 minutes. I study better that way. I don't mind how many videos are there. If they're smaller, I personally prefer that. But one major thing about UWorld that I have noticed and I want to let you know, I don't think you should go for UWorld if you're a complete beginner. This might be a very personal opinion, and maybe beginners have found it well, have received it well. And if you are a beginner and you've used UWorld, please let me know. But I think I am understanding UWorld because I have that finance base. If you're someone who's starting from scratch, I think UWorld might be a little overwhelming for you. So it's good quality, but I definitely recommend to choose the other ones if you're a complete beginner and not look at this. Use their question bank, but I think videos wise you should look at others, because it's a little, they jump to the deep end and they start from there, so it might get a little confusing for people who are just starting out. If you are self-studying and you're looking for free resources on YouTube, there's few that I found that I'm going to just link down in the description. I'm not going to spend much time listing them down. There's quite a few. So in the description, I'll just put it as free resources, and you'll have everything that I've possibly found in the description itself. And finally, ending the video with what subject sequence can you follow? Well, I have two subject sequences. One is hard to easy and one is easy to hard. Hard to easy is definitely quants first, fixed income second, derivatives, economics, financial statement analysis, portfolio management, equity, corporate issuers, alternative investments, and ethics. Easy to hard is financial statements first, then economics, then equity, then corporate issuers, then alternative investments, then fixed income, then quant, then portfolio, then derivatives, and finally ethics. In both of these, I've kept ethics at the last because I do think you should keep ethics to the last. You should study it in the last so that you remember the standards and everything as fresh as possible, as close to the exam as possible. But there are some people who say do ethics first so that you can practice questions from the very beginning of your plan. That depends on you completely. These are just two recommendations from my end of the sequence that you can possibly follow. And that was the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We have been together till it's almost sundown. Like, we were together when it was light and now it's night. But I should stop. But anyway, I really do hope this helps you out in some way. Even if it doesn't, please text me again and tell this did not help, so that I learn and just structure it even more better and do a better video. But I don't know, I feel like it might have made a little bit of sense at least. And I hope this helps you out. So if it did, subscribe, comment down below that it did help you out. And even if it didn't, comment down below and tell me it did not help you out. And like the video if it did help you out. But don't dislike if it didn't help you out, huh? Okay, you do whatever you want. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna edit this video and post it ASAP. And then I'm gonna study for CFA Level 2 because I have been ignoring it. Okay, I'll see you. Bye.